Our top story this morning, a civil war inside the Democratic Party. Hillary Clinton is accusing Bernie Sanders' campaign of theft, saying the Vermont senator's aides stole millions of dollars worth of voter data held by the Democratic National Committee.
The breach of information led to a suspension for the Sanders campaign, which then sued the DNC. But late last night, a deal was reached to clear up the mess ahead of tonight's Democratic debate. Julianna Goldman is at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire, where the candidates will face off. Julianna, good morning.
Good morning. Well, this dispute really has laid bare tensions between the DNC and the Sanders campaign that have been simmering for months. The Sanders campaign is accusing party officials of trying to undermine his campaign and to help Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders' campaign cried foul on Friday, calling the suspension of its access to voter data, quote, a death sentence that would cost it $600,000 a day in lost donations. The DNC blocked Sanders from a shared database after a glitch allowed his staffers to view voter information compiled by Hillary Clinton's campaign, data that Sanders' campaign manager Jeff Weaver says the candidate doesn't need.
I can tell you that this campaign, in an official capacity, does not possess any data, does not retain any data, doesn't want any of their data. We're running a clean campaign.
Sanders' campaign filed a federal lawsuit against the DNC while also providing the committee with information on how it used and disposed of the data. The glitch occurred on Wednesday. It enabled Sanders staffers to view voter data gathered by the Clinton campaign for about 45 minutes. Data director Josh Uretsky was fired by the campaign. He told CBS News he was not trying to snoop.
My goal was to create a record of what was wrong so that I could accurately assess both for the campaign and for the DNC what my understanding of what was wrong.
Several other Sanders staffers are under investigation. The DNC lifted the suspension late Friday night, but says it will continue to investigate.
It's as if you found a house with an unlocked front door, and instead of locking it and notifying authorities, you went in and you took things, ransacked the house, and took things that didn't belong to you.
Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton's campaign is accusing the Sanders campaign of theft and saying they're downplaying the situation. On a conference call last night, officials criticized a fundraising email sent to Sanders supporters on Friday. Clinton's campaign manager says, quote, we are particularly disturbed right now that they are using the fact that they stole data as a reason to raise money for their campaign. Now, Clinton's campaign is also saying that the data gathered by the Sanders campaign included fundamental parts of their strategy. So Anthony and Vanita, it's all making for some unexpected drama at tonight's debate.
Julianna, how important really is this data?
Well, think about this data as the backbone of the campaign's field operation. So how this works is the DNC rents lists of voters to campaigns, and then the campaigns take those lists and sort of make it their own, inputting data about voters' preferences, what issues might sway them, what candidate they're backing, and if they're persuadable. So, for example, on a night like tonight, it's particularly important to have access to that data because, you know, there's low viewership. And so if there are voters that are swayed by national security issues, if there's a particularly good exchange between Sanders and Clinton where the Sanders campaign thinks their candidate comes out looking better, then they can blast that to the voters that might be persuadable.
Well, do you think there are going to be some good exchanges? For so long, it feels like all the drama has been on the Republican side. Now we're finally having the Democratic side in the limelight, not for the best reasons. But do you think there'll be some sparks tonight?
Well, look, it is the first time that we'll be hearing from Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders on this, but also look out for Martin O'Malley to get in on this fight as well. For months, he's also been saying that the DNC has been trying to help Hillary Clinton's campaign at the expense of the non-Clinton candidates by holding far fewer debates than the Republicans, only 6 on the Democratic side, and also holding them at times of low viewership, like on a Saturday night.
Julianna Goldman in Manchester, New Hampshire. Julianna, thank you.